So I've been getting a lot of requests to do a collection video. So I figured it's probably about time for me to bang that out. And this video is going to be really long. I normally like to keep my videos about 5 minutes long because I don't exactly have a DJ voice. And I don't want you to have to put up with it longer than you have to. But on this video, let me tell you a little about the toy room before we start. The toy room is 20 feet by 22 feet, 10 feet tall, glass shelves everywhere. I got over 40 LED light bulbs in here. It's not nearly enough. I could probably use 40 more, but it is what it is. I'm not buying any more of those light bulbs. They're really expensive, like 10, 15 bucks each. But enough about the light bulbs. I'm going to start on the top shelf. There's a bunch of weird random shit up there. That's why it's on the top shelf. And then I'm going to come down to like the second area here. And then we kind of have like Masters of the Universe, McFarlane, Lord of the Rings right here, and then we're going to go down to this level right here. This is like the Star Wars. This Star Wars wraps all the way around the room. And then on the bottom shelf we got Marvel and then DC on that half, and then over here in the middle is a bunch of random stuff. So if the video gets too long for you, I kind of gave you a little layout of how it's going to go. You can kind of skip to get to the area that you want. If not, just bear with me. You're going to see a lot of toys you probably have never seen or you haven't seen in a long time. Let's check it out. Okay, so I threw the fisheye lens on just so you can kind of get a perspective of the room because it's kind of hard to see in a video. But here it is. It's just a big room. When I built this house, I could design this for a specific toy room, but as a selling point, if I ever sell it, which hopefully I never will, it also doubles as a home theater. But here's the room. Here's the first hallway you kind of go down. Here's where I do my reviews. Massage chair in the back for those long days at work. Going around, here's like the second hallway. Kind of have some Batman down there, but we'll take a look at those later. Here's the third hallway, and then it also wraps around. Here's the back side of my desk, and then there's some Star Wars figs on there that I'm getting ready to review. And then it's kind of like a weird little open area back here, so there's kind of like a U of shelves inside this square room. And then we got one more hallway to go down. This will be the last hallway, and then right there is the door. That's where I started. Let's get on that ladder and get to these toys. Okay, I'll give you a bird's eye view of the toy room from right here. And if you see that sea of plastic and you're wondering about how many action figures that is, I don't have an exact count right now, but I know that it's over 9,000. So here's my DC 4-inch collection. This is kind of one of my older ones. I also got like the Batman animated and the Superman animated, and now they're redoing those in 6-inch, which I also have, and I'll show you those later in the video. But here they are. I don't have every single one of these because they started doing a lot of weird mail away exclusives and shit like that, and it's getting really hard to track them down. Not to mention I was kind of over this line anyways because they started doing 6-inch. And I like the 6-inch toys a lot more than I like these 4-inch toys. So there's the DC collection. Also have a few other weird shit mixed in there. But this is kind of my 4-inch DC collection. And on this video, if there's one of these collections that you see or a figure that you want me to review, just let me know in the comments and I'll get to that. So there's the 4-inch DC collection, animated. The Justice League down here. Let's go to the next little section. Moving right down the shelf, we have like some McFarlane stuff, Terminator figures. Up top, Chucky, A-Team. That was a pretty cool little set they did right there. Forget those guys' names. These skateboard figures, those are pretty cool. I used to skate a lot. And then over here, back with the McFarlane stuff. They really killed it at the time when they were making this shit. Like, I couldn't get it on my pegs, on my shelves fast enough. And down here, the Headless Horseman, Blair Witch. I think that's 30 Days a Night right there. Those were a great little set of toys. I love when they do a little set like that. You can buy it, get in, get out, and you don't have to keep spending money on it. But there's kind of my McFarlane set. Let's get to the next area. Okay, up on the very top here, we got some DC 5-inch. I thought this line was pretty cool at the time. They're all kind of pre-posed. I mean that's just how shit was back then. Articulation really wasn't a big deal. And then down here we got Puppet Master, King Kong. This is what you get for Christmas when your friends think that, you know, hey, I haven't got this action figure yet, let's get him a funny Billy doll. So I went ahead and threw him on the shelf. I just don't think he's that funny. And then here's some more Superman. And then down here we got some weird Lara Croft Tomb Raider figures. I actually thought these were pretty good at the time. We got those that cat set. I kind of forget what those were called. Independence Day. Those were really awesome at the time also. I really dug that set. Then we have this Jaws set with the boat. Thought that was really cool. Threw in a Potato Man, Darth Vader, just because I thought it was cool at the time. Went to Comic-Con one year and this dude just gave me that figure, so I said thank you and put it on the shelf. Right next to it we have Kiss, which I'm not real sure why I bought all these Kiss figures, because I'm not really a Kiss fan, but I was a McFarlane fan, so I bought them. I'm going to give you a different angle on these Puppet Masters because I really like this collection and I really enjoyed these movies. I thought that was great. They did some of the ones in life size, but they were just too expensive for me. Here's more of that DC 5-inch line up top here. And then there's another one of those toys that you get for a joke from one of your friends. And then I got those hockey guys. Some more McFarlane Monsters. They came with these play sets. I thought those were really great toys at the time. Back over here where the Kiss is, behind those you kind of see some Iron Maiden figures. AC/DC, more Iron Maiden. Some weird random shit in the back there. I got that Adam Sandler movie shit way back there. I forget what that's even called. Then they did this monster line, which I thought was great. I mean, they pretty much made everybody I could think of. And then back on the very top, we got the old Kenner Predators. Now they're redoing those. And then we got, forget what those were called, American Warrior or something. And right below that, more McFarlane stuff, like the McFarlane Conan figures and a few other weird lines that he did. But I thought they were great. They're kind of all pre-posed, but I mean, they look great on the shelf. You can't really fuck with them too much, but they do look great on the shelf. Then we got these plastic fantasy porn stars. You gotta have those in your collection. And then down here we got some Easter figures. The old Planet of the Apes. I know that movie wasn't that great and the toys weren't that great either, but for some reason I bought them. If I'd have known the new movie was coming out, I probably would have passed on those. Here's some more McFarlane stuff, some of his weird obscure stuff like Wizard of Oz and his circus guys. But the toys are great regardless. Pretty much anything he would make, people would just buy it, and I was one of those people. Let's go to the next. Okay, here's that McFarlane stuff. That dragon was really cool. I really like that wheel on the robot guy back there. Those were like for a video game. I didn't play that video game, but I did buy the toys. And then he did this dragon line, which I thought was cool, but I wasn't real into. I pretty much only got these if I saw them on clearance. And down here he did like a Christmas themed set. I thought those were pretty cool, pretty weird, pretty obscure. When he started making shit like this, I was like, dude, you got Image to work with. Why are you making toys like this? Like there's still a bunch of Image toys that we need. And up here we got some weird 12-inch. Not real sure where I got that for. King Kong, that thing was amazing. Really like that toy. I really like this set right here. I thought that was cool that they did these. Back to this McFarlane stuff. And then up top I also have some weird plush toys. I got South Park up here. And then I got a few of these Star Wars ones. I'm not real sure why I bought this, but back in the day there wasn't a whole lot of figures to collect, so I just kind of buy random shit sometimes. I picked up that Godzilla from that crappy Godzilla movie, and then Jakks Pacific did this amazing Godzilla for a really cheap price. I was really happy to get that. That big giant figure, that was just like a Christmas gift, so I threw him in here. I bought that Hulk because he was on clearance. Back there, the old Racer 5 figures. This was like a con exclusive, this video game. The Tron, I'll try to light it up. I don't know if the battery still works or not. It does. You can barely see it in there. But there's a Tron figure in there and he's like the Frisbee's lit up. That's pretty cool. Then they did the 6-inch Tron figures. And this might be the coolest action figure I have in my toy room. If the battery works, let me try it. Because if he does, you definitely need to see it. So if you look at his face there, there's a button right here on the side. You push the button. I'm trying.
My name is Sam Flynn.
And hit it again, see if it'll work. Maybe you gotta wait a minute.
Some things are worth the risk.
So his face lights up there in his mask and talks. That's like, man, that when they made that, I couldn't believe how cool it was. Let me try to put him back on here on the shelf over here. Sorry about the delay. I just really wanted to point that out. I'm gonna lean him for now. And then those other two with them, they also light up. So those are pretty cool. And I got some lowrider cars. Don't know why I bought those, but they actually are on hydraulics. Some more Tron cycles. And then I also have this import Tron ones that my buddy hooked me up with. And then I have the original stuff over there. Not really into it anymore. That's why it's on the top shelf. The next to that was like a Tron Hot Wheel, like a Comic-Con exclusive. Went in and picked that up. Don't know why I did that. And then for some reason I bought this Toy Story because I thought the movie was pretty cool at the time and there wasn't nothing else to buy and I had a little extra money in my wallet. And that's usually what happens when that happens. Some Crash Bandicoot, some more random stuff over there. And then below it, we have old X-Files, Resident Evil. I thought that was a pretty cool set. And then this old video game. Man, I forget the name of that. And then of course I got Instinct or Backstreet Boys. I don't know really who they are. That's another one of those awesome Christmas gifts that your friends get you. And they go, oh, you probably already got these, but I thought they're really cool, so I picked them up for you. And then you feel like a dick if you don't put them in your toy room, because then they won the joke if you didn't. So that's why those are in here. Let's get to the next section. Okay, right here we have another bad purchase. This is the Mighty Ducks line. This is like one of the toys that I bought where my nerd friends made fun of me. And they're like, why are you buying those? And I'm like, I don't know. And then these Battlestar Galactica figures, which are absolutely horrible, which I wish I didn't have in my collection. And if someday, if my toy room ever fills up, this will be the shit that starts to go. Then I got some weird independent figures back there. And then I got this Popeye wave, which I actually really enjoyed this Popeye wave. I know that Sea Hag for me was actually really hard to find. But I thought that was a cool set of toys. Not a huge Popeye fan, but I did like the toys a lot. And then I got these Shrek figures. Another thing that, man, I think McFarlane started making these. That's probably the reason why I bought it. But they are actually really good toys. They got this gingerbread man, like the torture chamber. Thought that's just a great toy, and those movies were awesome too. Like, so I don't really regret buying these too much because they are really good toys and the movie was awesome. And I got these old school crash test dummies that, I mean, these toys are badass, dude. Like, they all like explode, they do shit, they were on clearance, so I had to pick those up. And right up here we have the Fred Flintstone set. I thought those were cool at the time, and I still love these toys. I thought those were great. And in the back I have like a bunch of carded, because I didn't really know where to put them if I opened them. Motorcycles, because I mean dirt bikes is my first love actually, and action figures are my second. So I went ahead and bought all those. And then I also have Space Jams, and this is another one of those lines that I almost instantly regretted after I bought it, but toys were cheap back then, so you didn't really mind doing it too much. And then some random shit up here, E.T., those weird monster guys, some Star Trek figures, and I hate Star Trek, but I do like the new movies, so I don't know why I got those. And then right here in the middle, Metallica. I thought that was great. Everybody loves Metallica, and they did a great job on the toys. They're basically pre-posed, little articulation, classic McFarlane shit, but they're great. Okay, right here we have, what's him? Thumdar, I think. Either way, I thought those were great toys. That was like a classic thing that I just had to have in my toy room. Space Ghost, not really a big fan of him, but I bought the toys anyway. And then we got these Skeleton Warriors, and I thought that was a really weird line, but I saw them at Toys R Us, or KB Toys maybe, from back in the day, and they were on clearance, so I picked them up, and I'm really glad that I did, because these are toys that I will never get rid of. I thought they were great back then, and they still hold up. And I got another Lara Croft Tomb Raider right here, back up to the top shelf. Some weird, I think that was like some Happy Meal stuff. They did these ghosts, they couldn't stand, so I built some wire on them before I figured out how to buy a stand. And then I got, man, what was that movie? I can't remember, but there's the toys. And then we got these monsters over here. That was definitely a clearance purchase. This is like back when KB Toys existed, and they'd always have toys on sale. Then I did the Gargoyle set, which I thought that was a cool line. The cartoon was good, and the toys were good. And then I think this is like Chicken Run right here. Those are great toys. And then on the other side I have the Ants. That movie was freaking awesome. So there's the toys for that. And then I have this giant Stay Puft Marshmallow Man. He's actually like made out of foam, and he's starting to turn yellow for some reason, but I could probably have my boy give him a new paint job if I need to. I might even replace him with the Jakks Pacific one if that toy ever comes out. And then I have a lot of this Mattel Ghostbuster shit, and that was really cool, but they just kept re-giving us figures. Like they'd give us this suit, the slime suit, the marshmallow suit, and I just kind of felt like I was getting ripped off on this line. But I do like Ghostbusters a lot. And then I also have like the classic, the cartoon Ghostbusters back there. But I thought those are great. And then I'm getting just a couple of the diamond ones, like the Terror Dogs. I'm getting those. But I'm not getting the figures because they're a larger scale. So I'm kind of done with that. I feel like they kind of got enough of my money. Then I got the old Slimer. This is just a remake for that Toys R Us had, and I don't even collect that stuff, but I just figured I needed that in my toy room, so there he is. Okay, we got some more video game stuff. I think this is like Duke Nukem or something like that, and then Run DMC in the back. Those toys were really awesome. Some Beetlejuice, like 7-inch. Those are really cool. I wish they were 6-inch and they made more of them, because that was just a great movie. And then they never really gave us the Beetlejuice that we wanted, but McFarlane gave it to us in 6-inch, so I really can't put them over here. And then we have these, man, I forget this line too. It was Ultimates or something. I'm sure you're gonna let me know. But I thought that was a really cool 5-inch line at the time. Back then all figs were 5-inch. So this is before the 6-inch shit started, and these were great at the time. And then I got this Iron Giant. I thought that was a great toy. The movie was also good, so I picked up that. And then we did this, I think it was like Logan or Wolverine or whoever, Hugh Jackman did this vampire movie, which I also thought was a really good movie, so I went ahead and picked up the toys. The toys aren't that great. They're like 4-inch, 5-inch scale. Went ahead and picked them up. Got this robot here, have no clue who that is. And I'm pretty sure this is some more video game stuff over here, but I never played the video game. There's the tail end of the monsters. I think that is Xena, Princess Warrior. Some more bad toys that your friends get you for Christmas. Commander Cash, and I forget his name behind him. I got this pig set for free, so I said screw it, open them and put them on the very top shelf. Okay, then we're starting with the Marvel 5-inch line. I got all of the 5-inch figures, but I'm kind of over it, and this just takes up space in the toy room. So when this toy room gets full, these things will be one of the first things to go, because they're doing such a good job with that 6-inch line that I really don't need this anymore. And they have a lot of characters in this 5-inch that they haven't did in 6-inch, and I have a lot more 6-inch figures than I do 5-inch. So they need to step up the character selection and give us more of these. I know they've been doing a really good job of character selection lately, but as you see, there's still a lot of characters that we need. Here's the shelf right above it. Just kind of going through it pretty quick. And then if there's something that you want to see, just let me know. Here's the very top shelf. Let me walk you around this one. So just more 5-inch figs. Got a ship back there. Then gets back to these pigs, and right below it I got these I can't remember, just Alice in Wonderland, Little Red Riding Hood. I mean, they were good toys, that's why I bought them. I probably would pass on stuff like that now. Like, it's a lot easier to pass on toys. For one, they just make a lot of really good toys now, and you just can't buy them all anymore, but back in the day you could. Here's some old Ghost Rider, Fantastic Four. Got the old Fantastic Four ship right over here. Got the play set. This is back when they used to do play sets. It'd be nice to see this kind of ship come back. I mean, if they could do it for 5-inch, 1 more inch bigger, I don't know why they couldn't do it for 6-inch. There's one of my favorite 5-inch figures, the Blob right there. Then they did the classic X-Men. I was really glad when they redid that in 6-inch, because that was something that I definitely wanted. It'd be nice if they could do some of these dragons in 6-inch. Another big Spider-Man playset, a lot of cardboard, don't really dig that too much. And then just moving along, then we have the Kingpin Tower over here, Crime Center. And more 5-inch back here. It's kind of like a lot of Spider-Mans over here. So there's a lot of different variations. There's an old Silver Surfer wave that they made. And then this last little area up here of the Spider-Man Marvel 5-inch, and that wraps up the top section. And let's move down to the next one. Okay, here's the second section. I'll start right here on the bottom shelf. This is just Masters of the Universe, you know, the new stuff, the classic stuff that they're making right now. So basically this is a really big section, so if I forget what to say or run out of things to say, it might just go silent, and then you're just gonna have to write it out. You probably like that better than having to hear my voice anyways. There's some old shit back there, like the 2-pack. Either Panther, he's kind of hard to see in there. A lot of these vehicles are from when they redid the line, like the 2nd time or the 3rd time. But they're kind of in scale, so I put them out here. I thought they looked pretty good in the set. Plus, when these people do these toys, they're really expensive. Here's kind of the second shelf right here. Right here, there we go. Little malfunction there. Got a giant. This is one of the vehicles from the newer line. So that's really cool. You gotta wait till those things go on clearance though, because they're really expensive. Here's an old play set. And then back here in the back, that's when they like redid them and carded them. And I just kind of left them in the package and put them against the back wall. Probably a purchase I shouldn't have made. That's one of the older vehicles. Pretty much all these are the older vehicles from the last time they did He-Man. And that's why I tried to pass when they did He-Man this time, because I already felt as if we had him. Here's a dragon. Love that. Really glad they did that character. It's nice to have him in the toy room. Another vehicle back there. I think that's one of the older vehicles as well. Some more giants down here. Another old vehicle. I'm pretty sure that's one of the older figures there, so I just stuck him on it. And then that vehicle back there, that's one of the newer ones, I'm pretty sure. And then more, this is kind of the top row up here. I'm kind of doing with without a ladder, so you're kind of getting like a a really low view, but you can kind of see, I mean, you got to see what I'm seeing, so that's what it looks like from where I'm standing. And then Hordak, kind of like Hordak's crew right here. And just moving down, we're gonna get to this castle. And then here's the castle. And thought that was great. So what it is, I have when they reissued the old castle, I kind of put the old castle on this side and then the new castle on this side. And then they made this extension for the castle, and that's actually supposed to go up top up here, but it wouldn't fit in my shelf, so I just stuck that over there. There's really not much else I could do. Like when they make this stuff, like they don't realize that we have to be able to put it somewhere. So here's all the older He-Man figures. I thought they looked really good. I actually like these more than I like these classics. So I just put these like inside the castle. They kind of fit. They're just a little bit smaller scale. So I separated them and put them in here, but I think that they look great inside the castle. And I'm really glad that they redid this. I'm hoping that they make that Snake Mountain someday. But if it's taller than 30 inches, it's not going to fit in my toy room. And if it won't fit in my toy room, I might have to pass. So hopefully it will fit. Either that or I got to do some weird crazy shit, cut some of these glass shelves down, which I already had to cut a big area to fit this castle in. But when I do that, I use a lot of valuable real estate, so it has to be something that I really want in my collection in order for me to cut and modify these shelves. So here's this is one of their newer vehicles. It's really expensive. I think I waited for clearance for that. More He-Man figures over here. This is kind of the top shelf. Put a lot of the female characters up here. I mean, this is a great collection. It's grown a lot bigger than what I wanted it to when I started. And as you see, it gets a little dark in there, so 40 light bulbs just isn't enough. Like, I mean, I could use like a light in every little shelf, but that's just not gonna happen. It'd be nice to do like some LED strips or something, but that's just too much work to take all these toys down and install that shit. And I don't know, maybe someday, but definitely not today. So this is the last little section of He-Man right here. Let me give you kind of a better view of it, so you can see the ones in the back. Ram Man, that Tuskor, really like that. I am getting a few of those for Super 7. I'm going to try to not buy characters that I already have, but if they're going to make new characters, then I'll go ahead and pick them up. Okay, so this is kind of the McFarlane area right here, and I did do a McFarlane collection video, so if you want to check that out, feel free. And then I'll start on the top shelf here. Just on McFarlane, I know it gets kind of dark up there. And I'm doing it without a ladder for I can kind of walk through. There's the elephant, really thought he was a cool character. Some of the older ones, and then some of the newer ones mixed in. Well, I guess none of them knew that anymore. But this McFarlane collection is one of my best favorite collections in the whole toy room. To me, it's McFarlane changed toys forever. Like when these things came out, they were by far better than anything on the market. Like, yes, they do lack articulation. I know that, and that's everybody's complaint with these. And I also have that complaint. But when look how good that toy looks. Like, if you got a toy that looks that good, which this is one of my favorite figures in my whole entire toy room, I don't mind a little less articulation. I know that's a lot less articulation, but I really enjoy this collection. The Max, I thought he was great. Basically just kind of like 5 points of articulation on most of these, if he even got that. The Trash Heap character, that was another highlight in this collection. I really enjoy that figure. And then dropping down a shelf, more McFarlane, that big giant Overkill. Thought that was great. Like, look at that toy. Like, when you get something like this, okay, we don't have articulation, I get it, but that is just an amazing toy. Like, they just don't make cool shit like that anymore. And if you look at how good these things are, sculpt and paint, and you have to sacrifice for articulation, I'll do it anytime. And they did do that new figure that came out. I saw them at Toys R Us. I haven't picked him up yet. I'm probably going to wait till he goes on clearance because he doesn't look any different from all the ones that I already have in my toy room. So if I put him in here and you can't even tell that I bought him, there's really no point to me buying him. If they would have did a character that I didn't have, then I'd pick him up like instantly, but that's not the case because he looks just like all my other spawns. And we're going to go right down to the spawn shelf right now. So this is basically all the spawns, and as you see, like if I bought that figure, which I will someday, I just haven't picked him up yet, you couldn't even tell that he was in here because he looks exactly like all these other spawn figures. So that's why I haven't picked him up yet. So this is basically just all the spawn characters. So there's so many different variations on these. And if you see one that you want to check out, let me know, and I'll do a little review on them. So we're coming to the end here. Like that one with the wings, great job on that. Like they really killed it. I know he's coming back, but he's not coming back hard enough. Like he needs to do sets of 6 before he can actually do some different characters. If he just does one-offs all the time, we'll never really get the characters that we want, because I still love Image. And this is when he did that animated line, which I thought those are really cool. And then there's like the old movie set back there. I know it's dark. And here's a little bit more of the animated. And that's it for the spawn. Hold on, let me take you over here to my wife got me this for Valentine's Day. It was a figure that I never had. I actually never even knew that it went for sale. But she got me this one here. I guess it was like a mail away or something, but I never picked it up, so I put this on my desk. And she got me this White Doom for my birthday. So 2 highlights in my toy room, so I keep them over there. Okay, then here we got some of these more collections, and I just pretty much anything he bought or he made, I would buy, because I thought they were just doing a great job on these toys. Like he definitely changed the woman figure for everybody else to follow. Like I thought he was an amazing artist, and their toys were great. And then they started doing this vampire shit, which I really wasn't into, so that's kind of where the line fell off for me. But they did a lot of female characters and other characters like that Ernie, like just amazing toys. Like really enjoyed collecting those. It's kind of like a nice 6-inch scale on that, so it's really cool. These female figures are second to none. They really did a great job on that. Here's some more McFarlane stuff, like the Wet Works. I really love that set of toys. I tried reading the comic, and I just couldn't get into it for some reason. Okay, now here's my Lord of the Rings set. This collection is not complete because I kind of just got burnt out on it. I do have the majority. I think I have at least one of every character. I know when they started just remaking characters and again, it's like, how many of this character do I need? So I have at least one of every character. That was kind of my goal with this line, because it was just getting too expensive and too boring, because basically all these characters started to look the same, and it wasn't like I was trying to army build or anything. I just wanted one of each character. But really fun line to collect at the time. No regrets here. I'm really glad that I have it. I love that tree. I just wish it was a lot bigger. Here's that dragon. That thing should be about 4 times bigger. Like, if you're not going to make it the right scale, I'd rather you don't make it at all, because then I'm not obligated to buy it, because I really wanted it in my collection. So I bought it anyway. I know, so I'm a sucker. This Balrog, I can't remember who made him. Somebody different made him, and I think that this thing was only like $100. Like, let me back this up. Sorry, let me back this up for you can see how big this thing is. That's 30 inches tall, and it's over 30 inches wide. Like, that was like $100 toy. We now get, since I'm right here, we now get 6-inch figures that are like $130. That was $100. Like these vinyl, these hollow vinyl, I don't know why everybody isn't doing bigger characters like this, because this is one of the highlights of my toy room. I just want you to get a good look at them, because they just do not make toys like this anymore. And I am so glad that they made it, and I'm even happier that it actually fit on my shelf. So really glad that I got that. And then here's some more trolls over here. Try to do like evil characters over here. Jump up here to the top shelf where it's really dark. There's like all the people on horses up here. Definitely really cool. They got this spider. He's so flat, like he's hard to display. I almost kind of need to put him on a stand, but his legs get weak, then they kind of fades out. Got that wolf there, really like that. And then just a little bit more Lord of the Rings, Gollum. Got that chainmail vest up on that barrel. That was pretty cool. Alright, we got this Dark Crystal set. You see I'm still missing 2 figures to complete this. I'll do a little quick review on that after I get them. It doesn't really seem like anybody gives a shit when I do a review on Dark Crystal, so that'll be a really quick review. Then over here we have the whole Green Lantern section. It's kind of that whole area right there. I'll walk you through the bottom shelf right here. Just Green Lantern. We got movie stuff, Mattel stuff. Probably have some multiverse stuff and a lot of DC collectibles, but they really did a good job on a lot of these toys, like that big robot back there. Like, it sucks when I think that's the Mattel one and that's a DC collectible one, and that's really rare when Mattel outdoes DC collectibles, but they definitely did it right there. And then once again, like, that's the DC collectible, and in the back that's Mattel. And then there's a movie one back there. So more Green Lanterns over here. I really like the ones with that metallic paint on them. That looks really cool. Got one of the squirrels here. And kind of, if you can see back there, that kind of rounds out the Green Lanterns. And up here we got the Black Lanterns, which when they did this, like the Lantern Corps, like that was really cool. Really like this. Like, it's a great set of toys. And right next to that we have the purple ones. So not a lot of those, but just a lot of remakes. And then the Yellow Lantern, which was a really cool set. And then I love the big guy in the back. Like, that's just how it's done right there. And I don't even think he was much more than the regular ones. And then you got like the worst Build-A-Figure that they've ever did of all Build-A-Figures. Weird, stupid yellow thing, and it like took us like 2 years to finally get all the pieces to build that piece of shit. And then when you did build it, you're like, wow, that thing really sucks. But there it is, and the movie sucked almost as bad as that Build-A-Piece. And then we have some of the leaders or guardians right here. More in the back. Those are pretty cool. And the top shelf up here, I just got some randoms down here on the end. And then we have the White Lanterns. And then, I don't know what color that is. Blue, I guess. But then here's the Blue Lanterns for sure right here. The Red Lanterns. And that's kind of it for the Green Lantern collection. Okay, and we got this other wall over here. This is all my Rogue One stuff. Pretty boring line to collect. I do have another set that I'm getting ready to do a review on after I do this video. The ships, one of the worst ships they ever made. It's way too small, sucks. I'd rather, if you're not going to make it right, don't make it at all. Some TIE fighters, like they already gave us a really good TIE fighter, then they give us this shitty TIE fighter, so that kind of sucked, but I do like this one. And the X-Wing also sucks, way too small. And then this is the other Star Wars movie, Episode 7, and really boring line, not a lot of love. They gave us a bunch of characters time and time again. There's tons of characters for this movie that I'd like to have, and now they're getting ready to do the next Star Wars movie, and we still don't have characters to this Star Wars movie. So I don't know what's going on with Star Wars, but it used to be really fun to collect, and now it's really not that much fun anymore. And then here's just a big mountain of that shit that comes in the packages. I haven't really had the heart to throw this stuff away yet. I probably should, but I don't know. There it is. And my buddy did this this little Stormtrooper Buddha on his 3D printer. Hooked me up with that. If we go up a shelf, we go to this 6-inch Batman animated line, and I'm really digging this line. And I just saw some coverage at Toy Fair 2017, and they're basically going to go with all like double, like multiple packs instead of single carded figures. And that really sucks for us because you know they're going to give us a character that we really need and a character that we already have. So that sucks. So you're basically going to have to spend $50 a figure instead of $25 a figure. And I really hate when they do that shit. So hopefully nobody will ever buy another toy from them again. Oh shit. I was doing so good. So good. And then this headless Iceman fell. So I don't know, maybe that's why he fell, because he doesn't have a head. Because I kind of try to pride myself on having 9,000 action figures and every single one of them is standing. But as you see, that is not the case. But either way, back to this. So when they start doing these 2-packs, if they start burning us on characters that we already have, hopefully nobody will buy them. For they'll go back to single carded figures, because I hate buying the same figure twice, especially when they're $25 each. And we'll go jump up here to the top shelf. Or first we'll take a look at this Darkseid DC Icons. Now this is probably the best DC line that they've ever did. I love the 6-inch scale. Every single one of these figures is tooled a little different. Like they don't just repaint like Marvel Legends. Like all the lines on all of these toys are all sculpted on. So I'm really digging it. Best DC line ever, and I'm really glad that they did it. When they started making it, I was like, I got way too many DC characters. I can't start something new. But I think that this might be the best line so far, so I'm actually really glad that I did. And then in the back there, I got like more BMX guys, motorcycle guys. And then this is kind of like my TV section here. So I got Gotham right here. It's a pretty boring line to collect. You just got a bunch of black characters in suits, like just black suits. And I don't know, in a room full of color, why not? Got these horrible Smallville figures. I know I'm missing a bunch in that set, but these toys are so bad, I was over it. I just couldn't buy any more. Then we go into the Flash. Those toys are pretty good. I wish they'd make a little bit more of the villains on the show. Like there's definitely a lot of characters. I know Mattel's doing that King Shark, and I'm really looking forward to that. Then we get into the Arrow. And we got a lot more of these coming, unless they cancel it. I know they've been canceling a lot of their lines lately, and I'm cool with that at this point because it just saves me money. Alright, we're going to come down another section, and then we'll get right into the Star Wars. The Star Wars used to be my favorite line to collect. It was super fun to collect, and this is why, because of all these giant ships and really big play sets and really big monsters and beasts, and like it was just so much fun to collect. And now it's like one of the most boringest lines that I do collect. I never jumped on board when they started doing the 6-inch line, just because Star Wars to me is 3 3/4. That's what it was originally, and that's how I like my Star Wars. So when you jump to that collector scale, the 6-inch scale, I'm just not buying it. For one, they won't even make play sets for 3 3/4 anymore. Do you think they're ever going to make a play set for 6-inch toys? I highly doubt it, and that's why I like 3 3/4. At least I used to, but now it's really boring. So let's start right here on the bottom. Kind of like we got Jabba here and the pod racers. That was a really cool scene. I wish they would have made more of those pod racers. I really love that. The Jedi Council, definitely cool. You got these big beasts. I went ahead and bought 2 of those so I could put the kind of the receiver and the giver on top of them. And then you have this army right here with this vehicle. If you don't have this vehicle, you are not a Star Wars fan, because this might be the coolest vehicle they've ever did. This thing actually comes out, it pushes in there, and you push a button and it like has like hydraulics on it. Then it ejects, and then for the troopers can get out. Really nice, or the droids can get out. And let's jump up to the next one. And then this is like the slave one, like the newer one, with the Jango Fett instead of the Boba Fett. And I got kind of a little bar scene here, more vehicles, a play set that I had to take the top rack off to fit inside of here, and then put a ship up here. But it's just really nice to have play sets. Like, I know everybody has to build the dioramas, like everybody has to build their own shit now, and I guess that's just what you want to have to do, what you have to do to get something cool. And then here's the ship. Like, look at this ship inside. Like, you can fit all these characters inside of it. You got a little docking bay for all the droids. I mean, they just don't do this kind of shit anymore. Like, this thing is amazing. I really like this ship. Really did a great job. Then they did this weird play set where it's like R2-D2 on one side, and I don't know. I'm just glad that they did it. And then we got up here like Jar Jar Binks and all his boys up here. I know everybody hates Jar Jar Binks, and don't think that I don't, but at least we got monster characters, so you get burnt out on the human characters, especially in Star Wars. And just tons of the same figure here. But, you know, if they're in the movie, it's Star Wars, you gotta kind of buy it. I like how they did this little droid fighter thing. Comes with this handle on it for you can display it, really cool. I like that. And a little flight stand for Watu, I think his name is. And then you got the headless one, the attaches with the magnet. You need to do more shit like that because that is really cool. And man, it's really dark right here. Sorry about that. I guess I probably should have got a light in here for that. But this is kind of like the droid where they make those droid factory type deal. And then down here you have the arena, and I went ahead and bought 2 of these play sets. Paid full price for the first one, then I saw the second one on clearance, so I went ahead and picked up another one. But I actually wish I would have picked up one more because it'd be nice to try to squeeze one in on the back there, or like cut it to make it fit in there, because if you had 3, like that would really make for one hell of a play set. Then I got it probably like way too filled up, but I mean, I kind of felt like all these people needed to be in there, and I already cut the glass shelves to fit it in there, so I didn't want to cut it and make it any bigger. But who knows, maybe I'll pick up another one of these on eBay if I see it for really cheap, because that would be awesome to have 3. I mean, we do have this little paper thing in the back, which kind of completes it, rounds it out. Really like that. I really miss the days of big play sets and big ships. So that's a toy that I really am glad that I have. And then we have this battle scene here. I mean, Star Wars is pretty much the only one that I actually tried to do battle scenes for. And the reason why I did it is because they actually made enough characters in the battle scene to where you could do something like this. Another big, amazing ship. Really like that. Love this. Like, this thing is amazing. Like, I tried to buy 2 of these. Like, whenever I saw them, like, I'd buy one at full price. And then if I saw them go on clearance, then I would pick up another one. So the ships that I only have one of, it's either because there's only one in the movie or because I never found it on clearance. So that's why I only have one of each of these. And then down here we kind of have like the Chewbacca planet scene. And then above it, General Grievous, which is one of my all-time favorite Star Wars characters. And then they gave him that really cool vehicle. He was really fun in the movie. Really enjoyed him. I wish that he wouldn't have got killed off because I could have seen a lot more of him. Another great vehicle. Kind of this Dooku battle scene over here, and jumping back up to the top shelf for the droid factory, kind of where we left off. And then I love this R2. When everybody saw that he could fly, it was like mind-blowing. Like, everybody freaked out. That's an amazing Star Wars toy right there with the cloth cape. Really did a good job. And then these detachable hands, that's also really nice. And then moving around to like the next movie over here. Or wait, this is the end of that movie. I'm not real sure where I'm at right now. But here's where Anakin got fucked up by Obi-Wan. And there he is on the table where they like make him. Like, great play set. Really enjoy that play set. I miss play sets so much. So drop it down. Then we have like this spider droid, which is really cool. That walker in the back, and then those green things. I don't even think that those are in the movies. And I had to take that arm off that lava pit to get it to fit up here. So that's why it's hidden back there in the back. That droid with the eyes, another great toy. Like, they just don't make shit like this anymore. Like, for the new movies, they're not making anything cool, and they're really ruining the line to collect. Like, it's just really boring. Then it's weird to have a a vehicle with even wheels on it, but I thought this was great. I really wanted to buy 2 of these, but as you see, I only have 1 because I never saw it on clearance. I have a couple more ships up here, and then we have the twins, the babies right here. That's really cool that they did those. Really nice touch to the toy room. Tons of these ships. I don't know how I ended up with so many of these, and I got way too many stormtroopers. And you got the trash compactor set, which is like that. That's just an amazing little scene. Like, really nice. I got the one with the ring on it on eBay because I was waiting for that to go on clearance, and then it actually sold out. I never came up when it went on clearance, so never saw it. Another cool little play set. More ships. I don't think that was like, I'm not real sure why I got that. It wasn't in the movie. I just bought it. It must have been on clearance or something. One of these, like, look at that playset, that little house. Like, that thing is awesome. Really nice. Now, I like these little droids here. Like, when they came out of the Sandcrawler, and I would give my left nut for them to make a full-size Sandcrawler. Like, that would be amazing. Like, I'm tempted to buy one off of eBay, but the Sandcrawler now is just way too small. So if they could do a Sandcrawler, that would really make my life complete right there. And then kind of like I like the sand village here, like the sand scene up here, going down. Have you jump it up a shelf. Now here's their full-size TIE Fighter, really awesome. And the top section, that was a ship that wasn't in the movie. I probably bought it because it was on clearance. And going down along this top section here, that's like from the old school shit right there because they never remade it, so I went in and picked one up. And then coming down, now this is the cantina that I made. I built it, then my boy Broccoli, he like hooked it up. He does custom paint and models, and if you ever need some model painted or a toy or whatever, he's definitely your guy. So hit me up in the comics and I'll hook you up with him. He does a lot of painting. He's kind of booked out. As you see, his work is amazing. And I don't think he'd do one of these for you, but if you need a model or a Godzilla painted up, let me know and I'll let him know. So he did this whole bar thing. Like those pieces in the bar or the bar countertop, like they actually made, and then my boy like made the rest of that with the pipes and all this painting and the lights. And he actually, this thing opens up, and this Jawa, he actually wired that Jawa in for his eyes will light up, but the battery's dead, so I'm not going to show you that. And then you got the band back here, and those basses actually like make sound and shit, so that was really cool. But they never made us a good playset like this, so I went ahead and stepped up. I'm not a big diorama guy as far as the fine tuning. I don't even know how to begin on that. I just did the rough build on it, and then he took it from there, and he definitely killed it. This is one of the prized possessions in my toy room, and I can't thank him enough for hooking me up with this thing. Like, I really appreciate it. And then you got this Millennium Falcon. Now, this is back when Star Wars used to be cool. Like, this thing was like $150. Like, we buy toys that are $150. This is one of the best ships I own in my toy room. It is amazing. It's just, I cannot say enough about it. If you don't have it, then you're probably not a Star Wars fan. Or I don't see how you could call yourself a Star Wars fan. That big ship in the back there, that was from the old school vintage line, so that thing's probably like 50 years old. And they never remade it, so that's the one that I have. Just backtracking here, got lots of pilots over here. Up here we got the TIE Fighters. It's kind of the little collection. So, I mean, I think they did a great job. Like, as you see, I got 2 bombers. That's because one went on clearance. That's the reason why I have 2. And then we have all the Ice Planet shit right here. This little vintage playset. They never made a playset, so I picked one of these up on like eBay for cheap. I think this is the new one that they did. But really cool little scenes. Definitely a fun line to collect. I miss the days when they were making cool shit like this. Another one of the highlights in my toy room is these. I bought one, and then like always, they went on clearance, so I bought one more. My goal was to get 3 of these, but I never saw a third one for sale that was actually on sale. So I ended up with 2, but I'd like to have 3. Another full-size ship. Really glad that they did this. And then ATST and the AT-ATs. Here's the one where they did with all the moss and shit on it. Thought that was really cool. This is what an X-Wing is supposed to look like. I actually wish I would have bought more of these. Like I got this one. I got the battle damage, but I wish I would have just thrown away all my old shitty ones and then got more of these full-size ones because that's really nice. And this is a vintage play set because they never made it. So I went ahead and picked that up. The foam is like kind of like rotted out, so maybe I should redo that someday. Got a bunch of Darth Vaders over here. Cloud City vehicles over here. Drop down, I got the old Millennium Falcon. That thing just doesn't stack up compared to the new one, but I have it for some reason, just can't get rid of it. Another amazing playset right here, really dig that. And this is one that I did all by myself. As you can see, the detail is not quite as good as on the other one, but I just couldn't ask him to help me do another one because it was just too much. So this is I pulled a book out, and this is kind of like the floor plan of it. Of course, I had to shrink it down a little bit just to get it inside my toy room. And I'm actually doing the Rancor pit below it, but I haven't finished that yet just because I've been really busy with work. But someday I'll put it in here, and it actually fits right underneath this. I'm looking forward to doing that someday. But this is another thing that I'm really proud of in my collection. Like as you see, like I did Jabba down here, they actually gave us that base. I made that fire thing. I know my custom work is not that great. Like I'm nowhere near where my buddy is. Sorry about that. I'm just trying to get the camera in here for you can kind of get a good look at it. This is like the entrance of it over here. And like I'm going to try to get the camera in here for you can kind of see. Like, so there's the floor where the Rancor pit is going to go someday. There's part of the band. And then you can kind of look through it and see Han Solo, you know, back there on the wall. And if you look down this hallway, there's one of the best toys they ever did right there. I wish they'd start doing toys like that again. And then I just found, I had that, and it was the closest thing I could find to the monster's head that was on the wall. And then I have the Tauntaun over on this side. Kind of made these tubes. I know like my work isn't near what some of you guys I've seen on Instagram do, but I just really needed this, so I went ahead and put it together. There it is. Either way, I'm really proud of it. And we got more Star Wars over here. This is just kind of a random area where I just have a bunch of droids, an old ship. There's my Rancor. That was also a nice little playset that they did. Little empty space here because I was planning on doing some shit here and I never did. And I was just kind of hoping they'd make more Star Wars. Like when you do this, like you try to lay it out according to how they're going to make toys, and then they always make them in a different direction. So like part of your toy room gets really crowded and then the rest of it's really empty. And another thing that I really want from them, I already gave them my left nut for that Sandcrawler. If you could do a Jabba's sail barge full size or close to full size like you did on that Millennium Falcon or the AT-AT, those are the two vehicles I want more than any vehicle, the Sandcrawler and the sail barge. So if anybody important out there ever sees this video, that's what I want, and I'm sure that I'm not alone. And we got way too many of these ships. I don't know how I ended up with so many of those. And more A-Wings. I think those are B-Wings. This ship is really cool. This is full size back before they were doing full size. And here's my Ewok village. What it is I took two of the Ewok villages. One of them was like the Star Wars one, and I think the other one was like the Robin Hood one. So that's why one has leaves and one doesn't. So I put these two together, took out a glass shelf, like so it kind of could fit inside of there, but it just, oh man, there's 2 men down so far. Sorry about that. Hopefully that'll be the last one. I probably should have walked my toy room to make sure before I started doing this video. But there's a playset. Really, really dig that. Like that really looks cool in my toy room. And jumping up here, This is just kind of like all the concept figures, and then I also have those ones carded. I didn't open them because I already had like 10 of those figures open, so I thought the vintage card in the back looked really cool. But on the ones that I did, these are just kind of their vintage characters. Some shit that I kind of wish I wouldn't have bought, but I did buy because I'm not really, if it's not in the movie, it's not really Star Wars to me. I mean, I know it is to a lot of people. I'm not into the comic book or anything. And then another shelf here that we got to hit real quick. Like I was saying, if it's not in the movie, it's not really Star Wars to me. So I try to like limit my purchases to shit that was actually in the movie. And that's the whole middle section there. So let's get down to the next row. Okay, we're finally on the bottom section of the toy room. And we're probably only about halfway done with this video, because we still have the middle part, so hopefully you're hanging in there. If not, that's why they invented fast forward. So this is the start of the DC. We'll start right here on the very bottom. Got some green arrows. Probably got way too many of those. Red arrow. Some Martian Manhunters. This green guy, what is his name? Mojo or something like that. One of the best build-ems Mattel has ever did. I just wish that he is like 3 feet tall, but man, what an amazing toy that guy is. And then some Atoms, some Fire and Ice, some more Mattel Build-ems. They really did a good job on their Build-A-Figures. Plastic Man, one of my all-time favorites. Even got one in the package back there. I bought like 3 of those. Let's get a better look at him just because he's so amazing. Because he has a spring body, the tennis racket hand. He also has a little suitcase you can put him in. Did a great job with that. And Swamp Thing. Really like the Swamp Thing. Kind of Marvel version of the Man Thing, but really cool. Got some Firestorms, and going up to the top section right here. Bunch of weird random ones. This is just kind of mixed in with DC Collectibles and Mattel. So as you can see, there's kind of like a 7-inch scale and a 6-inch scale thing going on. It's getting a little wiggly. Sorry about that. I gotta kind of like crawl down here to try to do this in one video. The Wonder Twins box set. No way you can open that thing because it like lights up and does really cool shit, talks. So if you take that thing out of the package, it kind of really loses its thunder. So that thing is really cool. I'm pretty sure that was a build-em for like this animated line that they did for like a cartoon that they had. And it's dropped down. This Shazam section right here. The Blue Devil. And if we go down from here, got a Cyborg section. And then I had to, he was a figure that I passed on, and I saw how cool he was in the chair, so I had to buy him. Because I was like, I just don't need another one, but apparently I do. And then the Hawkman and Hawk Girl over here. Hawk and Dove. Let me try to scoot down a little bit. So Aquaman section. Tons of those. I could definitely, I mean, someday if I run out of shelf space, I could probably clear some of these out. Captain Cold. Gorilla Grodd, love that. Really digging him on the Flash show. I wish they'd make one of those for that show. And then I think that's going to be the villain to the new Wonder Woman movie. What is it? Ares God of War. So I got 2 of those, and I got a Marvel one too for some reason. Wonder Woman section. I know it's getting a little shaky down here. Sorry about that. Moving down. This is the Batman section. Got that Justice Buster. Thought he was a really cool building, but almost every figure in that set sucked. I didn't really like any of those. So the Batman section, I have at least 100 Batman just in this one area. Way too many. There are some really cool ones and some not so cool ones. So that's all Batman all the way to there. And if you go up a shelf, this is like kind of like a Superman villain area. Got Doomsday, Darkseid. One of my favorite sets that they ever did was from Mattel, and I'm not a big fan of Mattel, but they really knocked it out of this park with this classic Batman line. I really enjoy this set of toys. This is a set of toys that I would have liked to collect forever. Like, you can make every character, and I would have bought every one. And they're really good toys. Another really cool thing that they did is the Metal Men. I can't believe that they did it. I'm really glad that they did it, and I really like that set of toys. Like, sometimes they really pull it out and do like some really cool shit, and then other times they just do some really lame shit. And back up here to the Wonder Womans. Let me try to bring it around without the camera not going too crazy. And it's kind of more like a Darkseid area, kind of like his boys up here. And then the Watchmen over here kind of have the cartoon and the movie. I'm not a big fan of the Watchmen at all, but for some reason I got the toys. Got these rainbow Batmans. I thought that was a pretty cool set that they did. It's something that definitely stands out in your Batman collection. Let me go around the corner here. Professor Pig from the video game, one of the best video games ever made. That's the shark guy. That's not actually King Shark. That's like a different shark villain. It came with a set of Green Lanterns, DC collectibles, but I love that toy. Moving down, a lot more Batman from the video game. If we come down, this is kind of the Joker area. Tons of Jokers. Got this big giant Joker from the video game, which was a really cool toy. And this is like, what was he, $100? Grundy, great toy. If this chest plate comes off, and you can see his heart in there, really nice. Back over here to the Doomdays, if we drop it down, this is kind of the Robin section, and leads into the Nightwing section, and then it Oracle in the wheelchair, and then it kind of goes into Batgirl. Hold on, let's scoot down a little bit. We got this Gordon, like the Gordon section. We got that Gordon Batman and the Robot one. I'm also gonna get the Mattel one, even though I probably shouldn't, but I'm a sucker, so you know that I will. There's more of the Mattel stuff, which I actually kind of like. I like all those. I thought they did a pretty good job on all those. Going down to the Superman movie, into the Superman section. Let me creep over here. So I got at least 100 Superman. I think you see that they go way back there. Way too many Superman. Be nice to thin these out someday. I'm just not real sure who I would get rid of, because I definitely have a problem letting go. We jump up shelf, we get into like the Clayface area. I just saw that Build-A-Figure that Mattel's doing of that Clayface, and that's probably going to be the end-all, be-all of Clayfaces. Really looking forward to that. Bane section. Got tons of good Banes. Goes right into Scarecrow, Penguin, Poison Ivy, Catwoman, Killer Croc, Riddler, and then into the Harley Quinn section. And if we jump up, we got more video game stuff. Man Bat, one of my favorites. Thought they did a great job on that. I even like the video game one. It's crazy that the video game stuff is like some of the coolest stuff. Mr. Freeze, and all this is just open for new characters when I get them. I usually try to keep a clear space here and there if I don't have to shuffle when I get them. That's the DC. Let's get to the Marvel. Alright, I'm back up on this ladder. Now we're doing the middle section of the toy room. And over here we have the Peanuts set, which is pretty cool. I mean, everybody's a Peanuts fan to some extent. Like, so got these. Thought they did a great job on the toys. Then like some Disney shit, and I hate Disney, but for some reason I bought those because they're like a Christmas theme. Then my DC shelf runs right into the Marvel shelf. Oh yeah, also on the back I have that whole Batman animated line. I have them all carded also. For some reason I bought 2 sets and I thought they'd be worth $1 million. So I have a carded set and then an open set. And right up top here we got the Green Goblin. Really nice. Goes right into the Hobgoblin. Then into some movie stuff. JJ. And drop it down. We have Rhino, the Lizard, Sandman, Doc Ock, and then it's right into Carnage, one of my faves. And into the Doctor Strange. Pretty good, could be better. Drop it down here. Let me go. These are like some weird, like this is like when 5-inch was turning into 6-inch and I was freaking the fuck out because I was so invested in the 5-inch and I never knew at the time the 6-inch was going to be the next big thing, so I was really pissed off when this happened. I really like these toys. They're 6-inch. I didn't know what to do with them at the time, but I'm glad that they moved it to 6-inch. Like look at down the road, but it was definitely a hard go for me. I yelled at Jesse Falcon for I don't know for about 15 minutes straight when that happened, but I didn't see the future. He knew best, and I'm glad he did. Right into the Venoms. Tons of Venom. I think I love every single one of those. Right into the Black Spidey. Into all the Spideys, all the random Spideys. This is another great toy. Marvel Legends. This is exactly what I'm talking about. Step it up. We need toys like this. Because Marvel Legends, a lot of repaints, guys. You all know this. Spider-Gwen, Silk. And then let me just try to scoot down here a little bit without the camera bouncing too much. Right into this Galactus. This one was like in a box set with Silver Surfer, like the 4-inch Silver Surfer. Then this was the Build 'em. But really no point in get that Build 'em if you can get your hands on one of these. And this is something that I'm really want them to do. Jakks Pacific can do a 4-foot tall Ninja Turtle or a 4-foot tall Darth Vader, but they can't do a 4-foot tall Galactus and like one of those big vinyl toys. Like those are the vinyl toys that we need. Make these big characters in those. Like make them 3 feet tall, 4 feet tall. Yeah, they won't fit on the shelf, but I could like put them like right out here, you know, next to the shelf or something. Just something like you're kind of wasting plastic on those big vinyl toys. Like who needs a 4-foot tall Batman? Not me. And we get down here to the Fantastic Four. There's Invisible Woman, Human Torch, Mr. Fantastic. They did a lot of great versions of that. Thing, one of my all-time favorite characters. In here to Ghost Rider. And let me jump it up. This is kind of like a Silver Surfer area. And Thanos. One of my pride and joys in my collection. My buddy hooked me up with that Doombot. I'm sure not too many of you collectors out there have that. If you do, you got to pick one up. But he's really pricey. All my Dr. Dooms. And if we go up from there, a really cool Scorpion, Beetle, got that big suit Beetle in the back, got the new Sinister Six. We just need one more character to complete that. The Blade, it's kind of like the movie Blade, but I thought they did a really good job. Moon Knight, now they're making a Moon Knight, not a character I wanted another one of because I already have 2 of those, but why not? Hydro Man, this is one of my favorites. Like, he also has legs, and I have the legs in a drawer, but really cool that they did that. I wish they'd do more things like this. You know, it's a figure that stands out in your collection. Alright, let me try to move down a little bit. And hopefully that's not too bouncy for you, because I could imagine my annoying voice and a bouncing camera and a long video. That doesn't make for a good combination. And here we are with the Ghost Rider again. And it goes into Hulk. This is one that Marvel Select did, and this is how it's done. Look at that. That's an amazing piece in your toy room. And this guy back here, this robot, I think that thing was $10. He also came with what's the guy's name, Gremlin or whoever, $10. Look at that. You can never use that mold for anything other than that. So whenever you hear me bitch about Marvel Legends, this is the reason why I'm bitching, because they used to give us amazing shit, now they give us repainted shit. The Marvel Select Red Hulk, amazing toy. Marvel Select Abomination, like on Marvel Select I get every big character that they do, and I think that they kill Marvel Legends with it every time. Right in here into the Hulk, another amazing build. I don't know if he was the build one or if he was, because I think one of these came in a box set. I can't really remember which one was which, but let's jump it up. We got a Phoenix and Rogue, Cyclops, and kind of in the Iron Fist, Kingpin. Like they keep wanting to, everybody wants to bitch because they don't have a Kingpin. Well, I got 2 Kingpins, and if you don't have one, then get your ass on eBay and pick one up and quit crying that you don't have a Kingpin, because both of these Kingpins are really nice. Daredevil, Deadpool. I thought they did a great job of that. Especially love the taco. Tons of Punishers. And then it kind of gets back to like the Silver Surfer. Another one of my prized possessions in my toy room is my Dragon Man. If you don't have a Dragon Man, then you're probably not a Marvel collector. Get your ass on there, bite the bullet. If you weren't collecting back when I was collecting, I know he was hard to come by when he was out, and now he's real expensive to come by. That thing's gonna set you back about $300-400 open. And then we got these Marvel monsters or whatever they're called. Either way, they're in the books. I think they're pretty cool. There's my Inhuman set. Like, are you guys fucking kidding me? 2 figures. Can we get an Inhuman set, please? I'm begging you. I really want to complete that set. One of my all-time favorites in my toy room, or one of my all-time favorite characters, that Man-Thing. I thought they did a great job on the toy. I wish he was like way bigger than that, but I'm just really happy to have him. And you believe this little ass toy is a build-a-piece? That sucks. Feel like we kind of got ripped off on that. And over here is where my Alpha Flight team should be. Like, how many years we've been doing this and we can't even complete an Alpha Flight team? That's another one of my bitches right there. Then if we go around the corner over here, kind of go into like an X-Men area. There's some of the new figures I just got, like that Sunfire, Polaris, pretty cool. Another one of my favorites back here with the wings, I forget her name, but it was a really nice standout toy in my collection. And just moving down, here's Hercules, which is weird because he's like, you know, a character that anybody can do, because he's kind of like Thor or Ares. And right over here was one of the best buildings we ever got, this Apocalypse. That's how it's done. You guys know, Jesse, you were there for this. Come on, man, come back to us. We need it. Show us some love. Cables, like here's a Select Cable. I just did a review on him. This Warlock, Build-A-Figure. Great toy. The old one's just as good though. And then over here we have Beast. And drop it down. Have this Sentinel, the Wolverine collection. Tons of Wolverines. There's the 2 new ones that we just got. So here's all the Wolverines. Let me go down. Try to do this like in one more spot or 2. We got the Juggernaut. Marvel Select Juggernaut is still my all-time favorite. You guys just can't keep up with him for some reason. Captain America area, at least 50 caps. I got almost every one you guys have ever made, if not every one. I can't think of any that I'm missing. Let me know. It goes into War Machine. Another great building, but he should be like 4 times bigger than that. That would be another great figure for like those big giant vinyl toys. Right into these Iron Mans. Got tons of those. I think I have every one. Hopefully I don't, because they're really expensive. Another highlight, this Mail Away Pepper. I had to spend like $84 on her on eBay. And going up here to the Thor section, that Ice Giant came in like a 2-pack with like a 4-inch figure. He was kind of hard to come by. Really glad that I got him. Another great Build-A-Figure. Love that toy. Come right in here to Red Skull. And then all the Giant Mans. I'm pretty sure I have all of them. I had to get a couple of them off eBay, but they weren't too bad on the price. But and you got that Ant-Man in the little package right there. I thought that was a really great toy. And that Sugar Man, like if you guys missed out on that, well, I know he's in the back. I'm not really showing him a whole lot of love there. But he came out in a different set with like bigger characters, and like he was like the only character in the set that was in scale. And I was really glad to get him, so I'm glad that they made him. And he looks great on your toy shelf, even though he's in the back, but he does stand out. And you got that other like Mail Away Sunfire. And we're going down into like the Shield agents. And that kind of rounds out my Marvel collection. I did want to point out my my Ares God of War figure, but I don't really see him right now. Who knows? Maybe you saw him. All right, let's get to the next section. And then we get into some of these Christmas characters. This is my all-time favorite Christmas movie. I would watch this every year. When the Heat Miser and the Freeze Miser, that was like the best cartoon ever. When they used to do like those little puppets and move them around, that was a great one. Then they got this big giant abominable snowman with the tree. I mean, I still don't regret buying this set because it just says, you know, my childhood all over it. So I'm sure half you guys out there have no clue what this is. And then more Christmas stuff over here. We got the guy on the sleigh, Rudolph. There's another shot of the abominable snowman. And then more Rudolphs over here when he's a baby. And it goes down over there to like another Christmas set. Okay, then we got some like more image characters over here, but McFarlane didn't do these, somebody else. And let's take a minute, because you see this character right here? This figure, and I know you're thinking he's not that great. That is the absolute first action figure in my collection. I was walking in Walmart one day. I saw him. I said, fuck it. Why not? Picked him up. And then I went ahead and started buying the whole set. And then one thing led to another. Excuse me. And then I started collecting action figures. And then the collection grew so big that in my old house looked like a 40-year-old virgin. Pretty much same exact thing. And then I said, screw it. I need a bigger house just so I can have a bigger toy room. And then here's where Toy Biz was doing these image characters. Thought they were doing a great job. You got Monkey Man right here. That was like to build him. Look how big he is. Like, what a great freaking toy. And they did these. It's like when Toy Biz shut down on doing Marvel, like when Marvel took a shit, like nobody cared about Marvel at one point. So they started doing this line here, and I really enjoy those. And then they got the Jurassic Park. The only reason why I got that is because I got it on clearance. Like, I think I bought that playset for like 10 bucks. All right, here's the back side of this Jurassic Park playset. I mean, it's definitely not a, excuse me, a great toy, but that's why it's on the top shelf too, I guess. Just, and where else am I going to fit all those dinosaurs? Then we have these weird, obscure characters. Like, I don't even remember who made these. I just knew that they were a great set of toys, and I had to have them. And then we get back into, like, I think these were the Toy Biz. Just image characters, weird characters. I actually did a Conan right there. So, and I think some of these might have been like Shocker toys or something. I can't really remember. But when Toy Biz, I'm pretty sure it was Toy Biz, was doing these image characters. I was really digging that line. I thought they were doing a great job. You have this 10th figure. He was Build 'em that they did, and I was so excited to get this figure. Like, he's definitely a highlight in my toy room. I know he's on the top shelf, but I mean, I was just so excited that they did him. That was part of that Toy Biz like image line. Then they did these 10th characters, and I just really, really enjoyed these characters. Another highlight in my toy room. And these things aren't worth shit on eBay, so if you're missing them and you see them and you want to pick these up, I know the light's not real good at this angle, but I think they're only like 15 bucks each on eBay, so I highly recommend you get this set of toys in your toy room if it's not already in there. And kind of more like the Image characters over here. And then we have Marv. We have him in the electric chair. Let me see, he actually vibrates. Let me see if the battery works or not. Let me move him. You push his lever. Wow, that was pretty amazing. I was surprised that thing still works, because that toy is probably, I don't know, at least 5-6 years old, maybe older. But that was a cool, like that action figure, that's his action. You push the lever, gets electrocuted, he laughs, but at least it's something. And you have all these other ones. You got the one with the blood splatter on them. And it was a black and white movie, so they did black and white toys. They also did some of these in color, but I figured it'd just be really cool to have a black and white set. There's the Creeper. He was yellow in the movie. They did a yellow toy. Really cool. Really love those movies. If you haven't seen them, check them out. And we have more Image characters over here. I wish I knew who made these. And then Bad Rock, another one of my favorites. He's kind of way too small here. Man, the lighting's bad. I wish he was like 10, 12 inches tall. But I do like that. You know what? I think McFarlane did make this set. Yeah, McFarlane made these. And then that set right over there, somebody else made those. But these ones were McFarlane. And I love that Bad Rock. Okay, over here we drop down a shelf. We got the Mad Max. I thought that was a great set of toys. I wish they would have made toys to match this set of toys for that last movie that came out, because that was like one of the best movies I think I've ever seen in my entire life. Then we have Tick from the TV show. I love the Tick. I love the TV show. And if you don't like Beavis and Butthead, there's probably something wrong with you. I'm pretty sure this is the Herculoids. And that just says like classic toy collector all over it. Great set of toys. They basically all have actions. I think that gorilla like pounds his fist. These things, their eyes pop out, have Play-Doh in them. That rhino shoots these little BBs. The dragon, his eyes actually light up. I just checked it not too long ago and they still light up. Great set of toys on the Herculoids. And then right here we have the Coneheads. I thought that movie was pretty funny. Went ahead and picked up the toys. Got that little Indiana Jones. He just kind of stands alone. Captain Crunch figures. Come on, man. When I saw these at Comic-Con, I was like, yes, thank you. I will definitely take those home. A Rat Fink, some skateboarders. We got like Bob Burnquist, Cabs, the short guy, Danny Way, Colin McKay, and they have little magnets on them that stick on their skateboards. I also have another set of these carded, and then my buddy Fudge got them signed for me, so I definitely appreciate that. Good looking on that one, Fudge. And the Pacific Rim set, I thought I tried to just get one of each character. There's a couple of them. I got 2 of them. I love that set of toys. Now they're making another movie, and they're probably going to make more toys. If they're not in scale with these toys, it's going to be a pass. Here's the other side of the Pacific Rim. Pretty pricey collection. Like those big ones are like 60, 70 bucks. But they are a really nice set of toys. Like they killed it on those. And then got this. What was that, like Mary Poppins or some shit? I can't remember, but I thought that was a really cool set of toys at the time. Grinch from the Christmas show. And then back there is Where the Wild Things Are. We come over here to the next section. We got the Gremlins. I'm just going to do it from right here because this video is way too long. And then Kick-Ass. Thought that was great. And then Planet of the Apes. That's how Planet of the Apes are done. Those are really nice. And if I drop it down, We got the Hellboy. This is like the comic book set over here. I already did a showcase, like a kind of review on that whole collection. And let me come over to here. I've showed you my Aliens collection several times in my video. So there's the Aliens on this whole shelf right here. And I'll bring you back around to show you the other side of that. So that whole shelf is kind of the Aliens. And then here's the other side of the Alien collection, which I've did tons of Alien reviews, so you guys have, majority of you guys have probably already seen that. And then they go all the way down till the end of the shelf. Okay, this is the end of the Aliens here, and this is where the Hellraiser figures start from McFarlane. Really like those movies. Like the first 3 movies were amazing, and then they kind of fell off after that. But there's a Hellraiser set by McFarlane. Great toys. And then the front section here, we have more Planet of the Apes. These are like the ones from the movie, and the ones back there like the vintage ones. I know you're behind the figures because we're on the other side of the shelf. But these are also great toys. I'm really looking forward to the other movie, and I'm hoping that they're going to make more toys. Then another Earthworm Jim. That was a great toy. And then the rest of the Gremlins, before they fall in the water. I think it's before they fall in the water, or maybe it's before they eat. I can't fucking remember. And then here's a Hellboy. Sorry, I'm getting delirious. This video is taking the best out of me. Like my memory's just going into overload right now. So here's a Hellboy. Okay, I'm off that ladder, so I might be able to move a little bit faster now. So here's like Futurama. Really like that set of toys. Really glad I got it. I got pretty much every one. There's a few paint variants that I just couldn't justify the expense, and I had to pass. Mars Attacks, those things like actually talk. Love the movie, love the toys. Tick from the cartoon, really dig that. Austin Powers, almost forgot his name. But there's his toys from McFarlane. They killed it on those, fucking loved it. Everybody's favorite TV show, South Park. I wish they would have never stopped this line. I could have literally collected it forever. I got the Devil. He was from a different toy maker, but I thought he was in scale with the toy line, so I went ahead and picked him up. Gotta have Jesus in there. I'm pretty sure that that's God. I might have to rewatch the episode. The gay dude. I mean, South Park, it's just everybody's favorite show. Terrence and Phillip, back around to Austin Powers. Come on, man, that's a great toy. He's pre-posed, not a large articulation, great toy. And then we got Tick from the cartoon. This is another thing. These things are like $5 each. And I remember I couldn't find this cow or deflator mouse. And then one of my boys, Broccoli, picked him up for me. It's actually how our friendship started. So, hey, shout out. Thanks for picking up that cow for me. Even though he's way too small. I wish he would have made him bigger. And then, what's that? Dragon Slayer or something? The video game. King of the Hill. Also another great show. Back to Futurama. Let me back it up so you can actually see that dude. And then just a great set of toys on that. A lot of repaints. I got a couple of them. Tried to pass on the majority of them. And then back around to Futurama. Okay, next shelf down. We got Nightmare Before Christmas. And then we have the original Nightmare Before Christmas set right here. I remember when this thing came out in the stores. It was like before I was collecting toys, so I had to buy these on eBay, so that was a little pricey. I think the whole set me back like $600. And this Santa, I saw that I think it's Diamond Toys is finally redoing the Santa, so we'll actually get a decent Santa to this set. And they also did that Oogie Boogie. I'm passing on a lot of the toys that they're doing because a lot of them are characters that I already have. And then you have that big green one. I kind of wish that he was glow in the dark. But I love this movie. I watched it more times than I can remember. And I love the toys even more. I got the bunny. That was a nice little thing. I'm really looking forward to that Santa. And then here we have, I think it's Family Guy. Another amazing set of toys. This is also another line that I could have collected forever. Not to mention the TV show was great. Dude in the cage in his underwear. Awesome toy. And they have Death. The banana. The bondage episode with the banana. That's just really funny. And then the backside of Nightmare Before Christmas. Let's go to the next shelf. Then over here we kind of have McFarlane's take on Hellraiser. At least that's what I think they are. They don't really match anything. They're just kind of his own toys. I guess when you do toys this good, you can pretty much make toys for whatever you want. Then the Predator collection, which I've showed many times on my reviews. So I'm sure a lot of you guys have already seen this, so I just kind of burned through it real quick. I'm trying to go as fast as I can without this thing being blurry or without you getting dizzy, because we just have a lot of ground to cover. I know this video is long, so I'm trying to get through it, but you guys asked for it, so now you're getting it. Next shelf. Alright, right here, this shelf is kind of like my favorite figures or teams. So I built a little Fantastic Four team of kind of like my favorite characters. The Wrecking Crew, really glad to get this. This was a box set at Comic-Con. Guardians of the Galaxy comic, Guardians of the Galaxy movie, and then my Comic Cave Iron Man collection right there. That's really an expensive set of toys. And I'm sure a lot of you guys have already seen that if you've ever seen my reviews of them. And coming around to the other side, we have like my favorite X-Men team ever, and it just keeps getting better with the new characters that they're making for it. I kind of stole some parts and put them on my new Iceman. And we have the classic set, love that, Spider-Man stuck on the wall. I think that was Mayfex, Metacon right there. Kind of a little Spider-Man team, a Batman team. Every time my son comes in the toy room, he's like, "Dad, let's make a team." And so we try to do that. God, I forget their name right now. I'm sure I'll forget. The Evil Brotherhood of Mutants. I can't remember. This video is just way too long. Defenders team. I think this is like an X-Force team. That's really a nice set. Alright, the next shelf below is just more teams. Got the movie Avenger team and another movie Avenger team. The Young Avengers classic comic book Avenger team. And then like the classic Avenger teams. That's a lot of Avenger teams. And threw some ants down there. Try to make it look cool. Come around. Got the Sinister Six right here. And then I kind of have like the battle with the Civil War scene right here. Got my bootleg Vision in the back. And my Mezco 112 collection. Definitely shaping up. Got that Joker in the mail, so I'll be doing a review on him soon. The Batman Mutant Gang Leader 2-pack with the diorama piece. Some more Batmans, a Wonder Woman, a Justice League set. And then if we go to the shelf below that, we got the Bat Hot Toys, $700. Really expensive. I can't recommend that toy to anybody because that is just way too much money. And now for Toy Fair, they showed that Mattel's making that Batmobile for $250, and it's an RC car. You can actually drive it. I don't own it yet, but I highly recommend that toy to everybody because that thing looks nuts, and the price tag, I actually think that's really reasonable for something like that. So here's all the movie Batman stuff, and then over here is like the OG original movie. He got this Bat car. I think that's the only one that they did. But let me back it up for you can check out this playset. This is probably the best playset ever made right here. Like, look how big this freaking thing is. Like, I had to make this shelf after I bought this toy for I could accommodate this thing somewhere in my toy room, because I mean, I really enjoyed these Batman movies. These kind of were like the superhero movies to kick off the superhero movies. And I know that they weren't that great, but I thought they were okay at the time. And I was just really happy that they were starting to make superhero movies. Like, so I went ahead and bought the whole playset. You got the Bat plane on the back. You got the Bat boat down there. Bat cycles. Got the penguin down here. That's actually not the right penguin for the set, but I'm really glad that that they made him, because he goes really well with this collection. Mr. Freeze. Come around the corner. This is that other cartoon that they did for a minute. I think it was called like Batman, or The Batman. So there it is. It's a pretty cool set of toys that was short-lived, so it was easy to get the whole set and then kind of move on with your life. And back around here, you got the Joker van, the other side of this play set. Those are just some pieces left over from some Gotham action figures. And here's the back side of the Bat, and more movie Batman. Okay, I've already did a Simpson collection video, but I'm just gonna go ahead and throw it in here real quick for the my whole total toy room collection. So here's the Simpsons. This is another line that I wish that they would have never stopped. I literally could have collected this line forever. Super fun to collect. Love the little play sets. People just don't do play sets anymore. All these figures actually talk, or at least the majority of them do. And that's kind of like the living room. Really nice. And come around, like they made a ton of these. Really loved them. These things were only like $5 each, and they talked. Really enjoy this set. There's the alien pack down there. That's probably my favorite one in the whole set. Then here's like their town square. Did a lot of play sets for that. A lot of little 3-packs right there. Lots of mail-aways. They're actually pretty easy to track down, so I got all of those and even got a few extras. And then come around the side here, and then down this stretch here. This is all Simpsons, and I mean, it's just a great line. Like, I probably, you know, way over 100 action figures just in the Simpsons set, but I really enjoyed getting it. And I think that was NECA that was making them the second time around, and with like the celebrities. That was also great. Like, they could have did that forever. But there's the Simpsons shelf. Okay, this is the last shelf in my toy room. It's on the bottom. It's the Muppets. And this is another amazing set of toys. I loved the show when I was a kid, and I like these toys even more. They're pretty much perfect action figures. Like, every single one was awesome. They did way too many repaints on this line. So that got kind of old, but I made sure that I had at least one of every character. They did these McDonald toys. I just saw these at Comic-Con one year. This is Series 1. I went ahead and picked them up. I thought they were kind of cool. This was like, you know, like the Mezco 112 line, except for these might actually be a little bit better and a whole lot cheaper. I think they were only like $15 each. And then it pops right back into the Muppets line. And they did quite a lot of toys for this, but really great line. You got the big dude right there. I have no clue what his name is. It's been a while. It definitely got Beaker. Tons of those. Look at that play set. Like, we just don't get that kind of shit anymore. And then you come around here, you got the band. Really cool. Tons of characters for that. That's the last shelf in my toy room. This is my desk. This is where I do my reviews. I do have this piece down here. This was like a Mattel thing. I never opened it. I love to open my toys, and I'd love to open this toy. But if I do open it, I'll lose Invisible Man, and that's the whole reason why I never open that toy. So I'll show you my desk real quick. You walk around, and here's the desk. Here's where I do my reviews. Got some Star Wars up there. I built this thing with the drawer in it. So now all those extra heads and hands and guns and repair kit, that's where that goes. Alright, so you wanted a collection video. You got it. You probably didn't know it was going to be this long, and neither did I. And that's one of the reasons why I haven't did a collection video yet. So if you pulled out the popcorn like Plastic said you would, I hope you enjoyed it. But Plastic gave me a plug on his channel, and I highly recommend it. Because of that, I got a few more subscribers. So definitely check out this dude's channel, Plastic Addict. And when he crawls under the table to go to the other side to grab the camera, it's fucking hilarious. Thanks for watching.